So if you've ever even thought about buying a home, you've almost certainly used Zillow. It is an absolute titan in the real estate world. But right now, that titan is facing a massive class action lawsuit that could, honestly, shake the very foundations of how its business works. So what's really going on behind all those listings? Let's get into it. And this is the multi-million-dollar question, isn't it? You have a group of homebuyers who are alleging that America's biggest real estate website is involved in practices that aren't just unfair, but might actually be illegal. So what are the arguments on both sides of this legal battle? Let's unpack them. Okay, so first up, let's look at the accusations from the plaintiffs. Now, this is a class action lawsuit, which means a few people are suing on behalf of a much larger group of homebuyers. And their core argument? It's that Zillow's whole system is designed to benefit Zillow, not you, the consumer. The lawsuit really boils down to two huge claims. First, there's the Zillow Flex program. This is the system Zillow uses to connect you with what they call a premier agent. The plaintiffs argue this program forces those agents to pay these really inflated commission fees back to Zillow. But the second allegation, and this is the really serious one, is what's known as steering. The lawsuit claims that these agents are then pressured to push or steer their clients into using Zillow's own mortgage service, Zillow Home Loans, whether it's the best option for them or not. Now, that whole steering thing is where a major federal law called RESPA comes into play. You can think of RESPA as the official rulebook for real estate transactions. It's designed to keep the game fair. And one of the biggest things it does is ban illegal kickbacks for referrals. So what the plaintiffs are arguing is that Zillow's entire system is basically one giant illegal kickback scheme that directly violates this major consumer protection law. To make this a little less abstract, let's talk about one of the lead plaintiffs, a man named Alucard Taylor. He really puts a human face on these allegations. His personal experience is a huge part of the case. He claimed that when he was trying to buy a home, he felt completely boxed in, that he did not believe he had any other option but to work with the agent Zillow's program gave him. And this quote from the plaintiff's lawyer, Steve Berman, pretty much sums up their whole argument. He says Zillow is playing fast and loose when people's most basic need, housing, is on the line. I mean, he's basically accusing them of taking advantage of people during one of the most important and vulnerable moments of their entire lives. That is a powerful, very emotional charge. All right, so how is Zillow responding to all this? Well, they have come out swinging with a really powerful rebuttal. They didn't just deny the claims. Oh no. They filed a motion to have the entire lawsuit thrown out of court before it can even get to trial. This slide really gets to the absolute heart of the conflict. It's like a tale of two completely different realities. On one side, you've got the plaintiffs, who claim Zillow limits your choices and steers you down a very specific path. On the other side, Zillow argues the complete opposite, that their platform puts you, the consumer, in the driver's seat by dramatically expanding your choices. It is a fundamental disagreement on what Zillow's tools actually do for people. Zillow's whole defense really hinges on this one idea, that everything they offer is voluntary. They're arguing that nobody is forced to use a Zillow-partnered agent or Zillow Home Loans. In their view, their platform is simply a free marketplace that gives consumers way more information and way more options than they've ever had before, no matter who they decide to work with in the end. And believe me, Zillow is not holding back. In their legal filing, they used this incredibly sharp phrase to describe the lawsuit. They called the 100-page document heavy on filler but thin on substance. Wow. I mean, they're essentially telling the judge that the plaintiffs might have a lot of accusations, but they have zero real evidence to back any of it up. So, with such strong opposing arguments on both sides, where does this all go from here? Well, Zillow's motion to dismiss isn't the end of the story. It's really just the opening move in what could be a very long, very complicated legal chess match. Okay, so here's what the immediate road ahead looks like. It's basically a three-step process. First, the plaintiffs' lawyers get to file their official response to Zillow's motion to dismiss. Next, all of this lands on the desk of U.S. District Judge James Robart, who has to review everything. And finally, he makes the big decision. Does he dismiss the case like Zillow wants, or does he allow it to proceed to the next stage? And, all of this leaves us with a much bigger question. This case isn't just about Zillow. It's about the future of real estate itself. As these giant technology platforms become more and more a part of how we buy and sell homes, it forces us to ask, are these tools truly empowering us, the consumers? Or are they just creating new ways for huge companies to control the market? That's something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.